Have you ever felt drained after spending time with someone, as if they've taken something from you? Not money, not possessions, but your peace, your clarity, your very sense of self. In life, the greatest battles are not fought on distant battlefields, but in the quiet moments of choice. Who we allow into our space, whose voices we let shape our thoughts, and whose needs we constantly serve at the expense of our own. The Stoics knew this well. Seneca warned against those who steal our time. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that our mind is our own, not to be surrendered to those who would twist it. Today, I want to share a hard but necessary truth. There are people who, whether intentionally or not, will drain your energy, distort your purpose, and leave you questioning yourself. They ask for things that seem small: your attention, your validation, your silence. But the cost is far greater than it appears. The key to a strong, centered life is knowing where to draw the line. Not with anger, not with resentment, but with wisdom. Because your time, your mind, and your spirit are yours alone to govern. So stay with me, not just to listen, but to strengthen the fortress of your soul. By the end of this, you will recognize these 6 dangerous requests for what they are, and more importantly, you will know how to stand firm in your own power. 1. Guard your energy like a sacred fire. Your energy is sacred. It fuels your dreams, your purpose, your very existence. Yet there are those who do not see it as sacred at all. To them, it is merely a resource, something to be taken, used, and discarded without thought for the toll it takes on you. These people will ask for your time, your attention, and your emotional labor over and over again. They will call when it is convenient for them, pour their burdens onto you without hesitation, and expect you to carry their weight without ever considering your own. They will demand that you set aside your priorities, your peace, and sometimes even your dignity, all under the guise of friendship, love, or duty. At first you may think this is what it means to be kind, to be a good friend, a compassionate soul. But kindness is not the same as self-sacrifice. The Stoics understood this well. True generosity is not the reckless giving of oneself to those who do not value it. It is the wise allocation of energy to what truly matters. Your energy is not infinite. It must be protected, nurtured, and directed toward what helps you grow. When you give it away freely to those who see it as an entitlement rather than a gift, you are left with nothing for yourself. Your goals lose momentum, your passions fade, and even your joy begins to dwindle. And for what? For someone who takes without gratitude, who expects without giving, who drains without replenishing. The people who truly value you will never demand more than you can give. They will respect your limits, honor your boundaries, and understand that a relationship, be it friendship, love, or partnership, is about balance. They will pour into you just as you pour into them, ensuring that neither is left empty. So I urge you to recognize the difference. It is not selfish to say no. It is not cruel to protect your time, your energy, your peace. In fact, it is an act of wisdom, an expression of self-respect, and one of the most profound ways to honor yourself. Because when you guard your energy, when you give it only to those who uplift, support, and inspire, you thrive. You have more to offer to those who truly matter. You have more to invest in the dreams that set your soul on fire. As you walk through life, be vigilant. Notice the ones who leave you feeling drained, unseen, unappreciated. These are not your people. And the sooner you release them, the sooner you will find those who cherish your presence, who nourish your spirit, and who see your energy as something to be honored, not exploited. 2. Do not compromise your principles. What is a person without principles? Without the moral compass that guides them through the chaos of life? Your principles are not just a set of rules. They are the foundation of who you are. They define your character, shape your decisions, and give you the strength to walk through the world with integrity. But there will always be those who seek to bend them. They won't always come with force or open demands. No, they will be subtle, persuasive. They will disguise their requests as small favors, harmless compromises. Just this once, they will say. It's not a big deal. They will wrap their demands in the language of friendship, loyalty, or necessity. And in that moment you may feel the temptation to yield, to go along, to avoid conflict, to keep the peace. But every time you compromise your principles, you give away a piece of yourself. At first it may seem insignificant, one small concession, barely noticeable. But principles are not made of stone. They are threads woven into the fabric of your being. Tug on one, and the entire tapestry begins to unravel. What starts as a minor compromise can turn into a habit, a pattern of bending and breaking until, one day, you look in the mirror and no longer recognize the person staring back. The true danger is not just in the act of compromise, but in the slow erosion of self-respect. Because when you betray your principles, you are not merely disappointing others, you are betraying yourself. And that is a wound far deeper than any external loss. It weakens your confidence, dulls your clarity, and distances you from your own purpose. The Stoics understood this well. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. A life of integrity is built on the choices we make every day. The decisions to stand firm when it would be easier to fold, to say no when the world pressures us to say yes. There is power in refusing to bend. There is strength in drawing a line and holding it, even when it is difficult, even when it costs you something in the moment. Because every time you honor your principles, you reinforce your identity. You remind yourself and the world of who you are and what you stand for. The people who truly respect you will never ask you to betray your values. They will admire your integrity even when it inconveniences them. They will understand that your principles are not negotiable, that they are a part of what makes you you. These are the people worth keeping close, for they will support you in staying true to yourself. On the other hand, those who push you to compromise, those who dismiss your values as unimportant or outdated, are the ones you must be wary of. They do not see your principles as sacred. They see them as obstacles to their own agenda. And if you let them, they will chip away at your moral foundation until there is nothing left. So guard your principles as you would a treasure. Because that is what they are. They are your anchor, your North Star, the guideposts that keep you steady in a world that constantly tries to pull you in 100 different directions. And when someone asks you to bend, to break, to betray what you know is right for their benefit, pause. Consider what is truly at stake. Ask yourself if the temporary gain is worth the long-term cost. And if the answer is no, stand firm. Speak your truth. Because in that moment, you are not just preserving your principles, you are preserving yourself. 3. Beware of those who manipulate. There is a silent danger in the presence of manipulators, a slow erosion of self that happens so subtly you may not even notice until it is too late. These people do not announce themselves with warning signs or loud demands. No, they arrive quietly, cloaked in charm, disguised as friends, lovers, or mentors. They study you, not out of love, not out of respect, but out of necessity. Because manipulation is an art that requires knowledge. They watch, they listen, they learn your fears, your desires, the wounds you try to hide. And once they know where the cracks in your armor lie, they slip through them with practiced ease. They make themselves indispensable, weaving their way into your trust. But trust, in their hands, is not sacred. It is a tool, a means to an end. These individuals prey on your kindness. They know how to twist your empathy into obligation, how to use guilt as a leash to keep you tethered. Their problems become your problems. Their burdens become yours to carry. And because you are compassionate, because you believe in helping others, you give your time, your resources, your emotional strength. You tell yourself that this is what it means to be a good person, to be supportive, to be worthy. But manipulation is a slow poison. You do not notice its effects immediately, but over time, the symptoms appear. Your energy dwindles, your joy fades, your sense of self begins to blur, and still you stay, still you give, because they have made you believe that without you, they will fall apart. This is the trick of the manipulator. They make dependency look like connection. They appeal to your deepest fears, the fear of being selfish, of being unkind, of being unloving. And so you sacrifice again and again until the balance of the relationship is no longer one of mutual care, but of silent transactions. They take, you give, and the scales are never even. Breaking free begins with recognition. Pay attention to how you feel in someone's presence. Do you feel uplifted, at ease, seen for who you truly are? Or do you feel drained, burdened, uncertain? Manipulation leaves a residue, a lingering discomfort, a quiet voice inside you that whispers, "Something isn't right." Trust that voice. That is your intuition speaking, urging you to protect yourself. Strength is not found in endless sacrifice. Strength is found in boundaries, in the ability to say no without guilt, in understanding that your kindness is not a weakness to be exploited, but a force to be honored. When you encounter those who manipulate, do not let their tactics define your worth. You are not responsible for their happiness, their choices, or their failures. Your energy is precious, and it must be reserved for those who respect it, not those who consume it without a second thought. 4. Do not let others diminish your dreams. Among us walk the dreamers, those who dare to see beyond the ordinary, who refuse to accept life as it is, and instead imagine what it could be. Perhaps you are one of them, carrying within you a vision so vivid, so powerful, that it feels almost tangible. You nurture it, protect it from the harsh winds of doubt, holding it close like a fragile ember. But beware, there will be those who seek to extinguish that flame, not with force, but with subtle persuasion, with quiet skepticism, with words that masquerade as wisdom, but are, in truth, nothing more than fear in disguise. They will tell you to be realistic, to aim lower, to settle for something smaller, safer, more acceptable. They will question your abilities, your resources, your readiness, and they will do so in the softest of tones, under the guise of concern. I just don't want to see you disappointed. I'm only saying this because I care, and in their doubts you will hear the echoes of your own. You will wonder if they are right, if perhaps your dreams are too big, too bold, too far beyond your reach. You will begin to feel the weight of their skepticism, and slowly, almost imperceptibly, the fire inside you may begin to dim. But dreams are not meant to be practical. They are meant to stretch you, to challenge you, to pull you toward a version of yourself that you have not yet met. They are not born from logic or calculation, but from passion, from purpose. To let someone diminish your dreams is to let them diminish you. And so you must protect them fiercely as you would a flame in the wind. Understand this: when others doubt you, it is often not because of your limitations, but because of their own. They project their fears onto you, their inability to dream big onto your vision. They see your courage, and it reminds them of their lack of it. Instead of celebrating your audacity, they seek to pull you down to their level, where they feel comfortable, where they feel in control. But you do not owe them comfort. You do not owe them your conformity. Surround yourself with those who see the fire in your eyes and fan the flames. Seek out those who believe in your potential even when you falter, who remind you of your strength when you begin to forget it. These are the people who will help you turn your dreams into reality, not by doing the work for you, but by standing beside you as you do it yourself. And when someone asks you to abandon your dreams, to shrink them to fit within the narrow confines of their own fears, ask yourself this: what kind of life do I want to live? One of safety and regret, or one of risk and fulfillment? Because that choice is yours, and it is a choice you must make not just once, but every single day. Dreams are not static. They grow as you grow, evolve as you evolve. And the more you nurture them, the more they will reward you, not just with success, but with a life that is not merely lived, but truly lived. 5. Do not surrender your identity for others. There is a quiet tragedy in the act of surrendering who you are to fit the mold of someone else's expectations. It doesn't happen all at once. It begins subtly, almost imperceptibly, as you adjust your words, your actions, your very essence, to match the image others have constructed for you. At first, it may seem harmless, even necessary. You tell yourself it is for the greater good, for harmony, for acceptance, for the ease of fitting in. You convince yourself that bending, shrinking, adapting is simply the price of belonging. But with every compromise, every moment you dim your light to make others comfortable, you lose a piece of yourself. You are not here to be a reflection of someone else's desires. You are not a canvas for their opinions, nor a vessel for their judgments. You are a unique and unrepeatable being, born with a purpose and a presence that no one else can replicate. To conform, to erase the edges of your individuality, is to rob the world of the very gift that is you. And for what? To satisfy those who cannot see the beauty in your differences. To appease those who demand uniformity because they fear what they cannot control or understand. When you live to meet others' expectations, you become a prisoner to their perceptions. You begin to walk a path that is not your own, and with every step, the distance grows between who you are and who you pretend to be. That weight, the weight of a life unlived, is unbearable. It is the slow suffocation of the soul. You cannot flourish in the shadow of someone else's vision. You cannot find fulfillment while abandoning your truth. The Stoics knew this well. Epictetus taught that we must not concern ourselves with the opinions of others, for they are beyond our control. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that our worth is not dictated by external judgment, but by how we remain true to ourselves. Those who truly care for you will never ask you to change the essence of who you are. They will embrace your quirks, celebrate your passions, and respect your boundaries. They will not see your individuality as a challenge, but as a treasure. These are the people who belong in your life, the ones who see you, hear you, and honor you as you are. To honor your individuality is to resist the pull of conformity. It is to stand tall in the face of those who tell you to be quieter, softer, smaller. It is to proclaim with every fiber of your being that you are enough, not because you fit into their world, but because you belong fully in your own. There is power in embracing your uniqueness, in allowing yourself to be unapologetically and authentically you. And that power does not just serve you, it radiates outward, inspiring others to do the same. 6. Be mindful of superficial relationships. Life, for all its wonder, is not meant to be lived in isolation. We are creatures of connection, drawn to one another by the need for companionship, understanding, and love. But not all connections are created equal, and not all are worth your time. There are those who seek relationships not out of a desire for depth or mutual respect, but out of convenience, superficiality, or self-interest. They want your presence without your substance, your company without your soul. These are the people who keep conversations shallow, who avoid vulnerability, who retreat at the first sign of discomfort or challenge. They may fill your hours, but they will never fill your heart. Real connection demands more. It requires honesty, depth, and a willingness to invest in each other's growth. It does not shy away from hard conversations, from silence, from the moments where words fail, but understanding remains. True relationships are not transactional. They are transformative. They do not drain you. They uplift you. They challenge you to grow, inspire you to dream, and remind you of your worth when you momentarily forget it. You deserve relationships that are built on reciprocity. People who see you not just for what you can offer, but for who you are. People who recognize both your scars and your triumphs and value both. Do not settle for less. Do not surround yourself with those who only take, who consume your time, your energy, and your spirit without ever replenishing it. There will always be people who seek to fill their loneliness with your presence, their insecurity with your affirmation, their emptiness with your energy. But these are not relationships, they are transactions. And while they may serve a purpose for a time, they will never satisfy the deeper longing within you. The longing for connection that is real, raw, and reciprocal. To cultivate genuine relationships, you must first know yourself. You must understand your own worth, your own needs, your own boundaries. Only then can you invite others into your life in a way that is both open and discerning. Only then can you distinguish between those who see you as a convenience and those who see you as a companion. And once you recognize the difference, you will have the courage to choose wisely. The world is vast, filled with people who will come and go, leaving traces of themselves in your life. Some will teach you, some will challenge you, and some will love you in ways you never imagined. But among them, there will be a few, a precious few, who truly see you, who meet you where you are and walk beside you as equals. These are the ones worth holding on to. These are the ones who make the journey worthwhile. Life is too short, too precious to be weighed down by those who drain your spirit. The people you allow into your life will either propel you toward greatness or anchor you in mediocrity. Choose wisely, for this choice shapes everything: your peace, your purpose, your very future. Walk away from those who diminish you, and you will not just find freedom, you will find strength. You will attract those who uplift you, who challenge you to grow, who remind you of your worth, even when you forget it yourself. These are your people, your true tribe. So move forward, not timidly, not apologetically, but boldly, with the unwavering conviction that you deserve a life of respect, love, and meaning. Guard your energy, protect your principles, and never shrink yourself to fit into places you have outgrown. If this message resonates with you, let me know in the comments. Share your thoughts, your experiences, and the lessons you've learned. And if you found value in this, consider subscribing, because this journey of wisdom, strength, and self-mastery is just beginning. Until next time, stand firm, live fully, and never settle for less than the life you were meant to live.